Here we are. We're talking about 6.4 inscribed angles. We need to review central angles, okay, so that we're all on the same page, because you're going to use central angles quite a bit today, and I want to make sure you understand the difference. Central angles, vertex is at the center of the circle. The sides of the angles, or the rays of the angles, are radii of the circle. The relationship between the angle and the arc that it makes is a one-to-one relationship. They are the same. If a central angle is 80 degrees, then the arc is 80 degrees. They are exactly the same. Today, we've moved the vertex from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. Now, the vertex is on the edge of the circle. The sides of the angles here and here are no longer radii. What are they? They're chords of the circle. Okay? They could be a diameter of the circle, which we'll get into later. But right now, they're chords of the circle. The relationship now is that if the angle is 40 degrees, then what is the measure of the arc that it makes? 80 degrees. It's half as big. This is called an intercepted arc. This is the arc that the angle makes. The relationship between the angle and the arc is that the angle is half as big as the arc. In a central angle, they're one-to-one. They are the same. Okay, in an inscribed angle, it's half as big. Okay, that takes care of the first part. That takes care of the second part. It takes care of the third part. Okay, these three things are described in those first two circles. Now I want to talk about theorem 6.10. Read it out for me, Tanner, nice and loud.
If two inscribed angles of a circle intersect the same arc, then the angles are congruent.
All right. So here's an inscribed angle making an arc. Okay, kind of looks like an ice cream cone. If I make another angle from here to here that intersects and makes this same arc, then X and Y have to be congruent.
Wait, where's the first angle?
X is the first angle. It's going like this and it's making this arc. This would be 2X. ARC. If this is the angle, then this is the arc. If this here, this angle here, is of the same arc, then it's going to be equal. And angle X is going to be congruent to angle Y. They are congruent. Why? Because they make the same arc. I can't tell you how many times this problem is on a test and people raise their hand and say there's not enough information. There'll be a problem and it'll look just like this, and it'll say a 60 right here, and nobody knows that X equals 60. They just say, well, there's not enough information. I got two triangles. I know that these angles are congruent by vertical, and that's all I know. Well, by theorem 6.10, it says if two angles make the same arc, then they are in fact congruent. Okay, questions? To further illustrate this, let's do an example. If I take an arc and I say that this is 100, okay, is everybody with me? Then you draw this angle here to here. What would the measure of that angle be? It would have to be 50 because it's an inscribed angle. Can you see? So if this angle here is 50, let's illustrate that point some more. What is the measurement of this angle? It's 50 as well because the arc is 100. What is the measurement of this angle? It would be 50 as well. How about this one?
All of them are going to be 50.
Why are they all going to be 50? Because no matter how I draw it, if they make that arc, then all of these are 50. You ever seen at the fair where they have a board and they have a bunch of nails in a circle? And they have a design and it looks like a star and they've connected all the points around the circle? That's what you get there. Why are all those angles the same? Because they're attached to the same arc. Okay? This arc makes all these angles, so they all have to be 50 degrees. Okay? Problem on the test would be something, it could look something like this. X and Y, A and B. And it'll say which ones of these are equal. X and Y are congruent, and A and B are congruent. Okay? Why? Because they make the same arc. Why? Because of this theorem 6.10. If two inscribed angles of a circle intersect in the same arc, then they are congruent. Okay, questions? All right, cut it off. We'll stop.